Carrier Dome. I wonder who Syracuse lacrosse plays this week. No game? No game?
Why are you so down, JP?
There's no game, Ryle.
But there's still a show.
Don't you worry, I've got this. Coming up on Cuse Countdown, we take a look at the Orange's last two matchups as they get ready for the ACC tournament. Plus, our analysts break down the big UNC and Notre Dame game this weekend. That and more. It's Cuse Countdown. Starts now.
And this goes out to anybody who ever lost someone, or anybody who ever had like a big motivation to do something in life. Man, don't let anybody get in your way. Do what you want to do. I mean, people laugh when I said I was going to be a rapper. Look at me now. JD, get 'em.
Sometimes you need a pick-me-up, and we're going to do it for you right now. Hey, hi, how are you? A week off for SU, but not our analysts. They are on. JP Chunga joined by Seth Quam and Michael Barth. 2 games for SU last weekend and over the last week. What do you think going into the ACC tournament next week, Seth?
Well, 1-1 for SU, tough loss against UNC, and then just demolished a Hobart team that was missing their best player, Alex Love. So, I mean, it's hard to know, hard to know what to expect going forward. Definitely that UNC game, Syracuse did not perform well, but it had a couple injuries going in there, and then just demolished Hobart team, but they were just clearly better than them. So I think the 10 games before the ACC tournament is going to help them get everyone ready, get everyone healthy, and I'm optimistic to see what happens.
You know, like you said, the 10 games is really going to help this team get healthy, but I'm not as optimistic as you are. I thought the UNC performance was really alarming. They didn't really come out with a lot of energy, got down early, had to come from behind. It was a good comeback, but overall, I mean, just a poor performance there. The defense could not stop a nosebleed against that high-powered attack from UNC. So overall, I have a couple questions going into the ACC tournament about this team.
And Michael, I hope you answer them today. We'll be catching you guys up to speed in the audience. Let's remind all you good people at home how it all happened in the face-off. We start at Fetzer Field, where Nicky Galasso comes to UNC for the first time since he transferred from the school in 2012. A rude welcome. Shane Simpson opens the scoring for UNC, puts them up 1-0. Cuse would trail 5-0 after this goal. Seth, they did not start ready to go.
Just a great start for UNC, not so much for SU, and they'd be trying to come back from that deficit the whole rest of the game.
And they be putting in some goals. Nicky Galasso gets his first of the game in his return as a visitor. Very impressive from him. Puts Syracuse down 6-4, but a big injury as Henry Schoonmaker goes down with SU trailing 10-6. That's a game changer going forward, Michael.
Yeah, Schooney's been playing very well ever since Stotts was out of the lineup, getting a lot of playing time. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come back in this one.
Syracuse would cut it to 5, but Jimmy Bitter gives UNC their largest lead of the day, 14-7 up with 5:40 to go in the half. Kevin Rice would come back with a question mark dodge from X, 17-12 UNC with 7:59 to go. Phil Donahue finds the Grim Reaper and Cuse down by 2. Unfortunately, that's the closest that it would get. Turnover here after Kevin Rice has a poke check on his stick. UNC takes it by the final score of 17-12. to 15. An impressive day for Dylan Donahue, wasted as he has 5 goals and 1 assist. In the return of Randy Stotts, though, a bright spot for the Orange. He had 3 assists, but that 3-headed monster of Donahue, Stotts, and Rice only produced 6 goals. The man who was impressive for the Orange had to be Nicky Galasso. I mean, he came down to North Carolina with a new girlfriend, and it looked pretty impressive to his old girlfriend. Very Mad Men of him, very Don Draper in an elevator. That's a little sneak peek for you if you haven't caught up on your Mad Men episodes. He had 3 goals on 7 shots. To Hobart, where the Orange is ready to get those seniors set for senior night. And the senior of the night, Dylan Donahue, scores his 100th of his career, first goal of the game. Last guy to do that, Stephen Keogh. He's a legend. More seniors for you. Hakeem Leckie able to get the goal, puts SU up 2-0. 5:55 left in the first quarter. Scoring continued because Syracuse is good at lacrosse, Hobart not so much that.
It was just a completely mismatched game. Syracuse coming out 12-0 at halftime, JP. Hobart just no match for the Orange.
Didn't help that they didn't have Alex Love in the game, their best scorer. This doesn't help either. I mean, a turnover to Dylan Donahue, 1v1 with Jackson Brown. I like Donahue's chances. He scores the goal. The Orange is up 7-0. 8:52 left in the second quarter. Randy Stotts again getting into form, and thankfully I go to Michael Barth for analysis of that.
Glad to have Randy Stotts back in the lineup consistently. 4 goals against Hobart. Great performance.
Stottsy again scores another conveniently. The assist to Kevin Rice, goal number 18 for him. Alert, alert! Hobart beats the Orange goaltender and scores a goal. They're down by 14. Tim Barber, very, very cool man. He scores number 9 on his campaign. Cuse up 18-3. They would take it by the final of 18-5. And they take the Krause-Simmons Trophy, named for Roy Simmons Sr. and Babe Krause. In that picture, you also saw Roy Simmons 3 as the Orange was celebrating. A great day for Randy Stotts as he had 4 goals and 2 assists. Dylan Donahue, of course, gets his 100th career goal in this contest, ends up with 101 on the season. Cuse takes it 18-5 next game in the ACC tournament. Now that's a lot to digest, I know. So for more, Seth and Michael are going to break it down, their current form in the SU side in this week's breakdown.
All right, so here we are in the breakdown. I'm Seth. That's Michael. What's going to happen is we'll show you a play from Syracuse's last few games and break it down, see how it all happened. So let's roll the tape. Syracuse taking on Hobart. Kevin Rice, as he does so often, starting the play. The distributor gets it into Stotts. Quick shot, gets the goal. That looked like it happened really quickly, so let's rewind it and look at it a little bit closer. So Rice, behind the cage, makes a nice move there. And right here, Syracuse sets a pick. That allows Randy Stotts to fill that void. Hobart cannot come in defensively to pick him up fast enough. And Stotts, with that quick release on the shot, puts away. And, I mean, that just goes to show Syracuse has so many weapons. A team like Hobart cannot control all of them.
You know what, Seth? You pointed out what Syracuse did really well against Hobart. I'm going to head to the UNC game, point out what they did really poorly against UNC. Let's roll the tape here, and I'll show you what's going on. Steve Pontrello with the ball, guarded by a midfielder, Jordan Evans, as well as Tom Grimm. Grimm's going to go over to help Evans, and Chad Tutton backs down on him, gets position, fires one past Wardwell. That gave the Tar Heels a 4-goal lead heading into the half, 10-6. It was a big momentum shift in the game. Let's take it back, show you what happened. North Carolina's transition offense did not allow Syracuse to sub its defenders into the game, so you have 2 midfielders on the field playing defense, and we're going to freeze it right there. Tom Grimm comes over to help. Jordan Evans is going to leave Chad Tutton wide open, and Tutton's going to have his way with Grimm. He's going to be able to back him down, get his position, and fire a shot past Wardwell. Syracuse could not stop a nosebleed against UNC. Defense was very poor. Going to have to fix that heading into the ACC tournament.
Well, one thing that Syracuse can definitely improve on. That'll do it for the breakdown. Back to you, JP.
I'm glad you guys broke it down for us. We're going to continue doing that for you at home. SU will play either UNC or Notre Dame in the ACC semifinal, so we examine the two next. Don't touch your remote.
Orange Press Pass.
Orange Press Pass is your ticket inside the Syracuse locker room. Hear from the coaches.
8 and we didn't win 8.
We got some open looks from the perimeter
And players.
Well, I saw pressure coming from the backside.
Get in-depth analysis,
Looking at
reports on site, and more.
Let's go on OPP.
Orange Press Pass, live after every Syracuse game.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Hot take, Coachella's for industry mainstream media types, and the ACC is good at college lacrosse. Let's confirm with the ACC standings. Look, North Carolina and Notre Dame take the top spots, Syracuse just behind at 2-2. Something has to give this weekend as North Carolina and Notre Dame meet in South Bend, Indiana. Syracuse has the largest point differential of all ACC teams despite being 2-2. Now we welcome back Seth Quam and Michael Barth as we look at this ACC standings, and Virginia's at the bottom, UNC and Notre Dame up at the top. Got a lot of talented teams, Seth. What do you think?
Well, it just goes to show you ACC is obviously a talented conference, especially for lacrosse. And Virginia there has that 5 spot, maybe falling out of the top 10. We'll see. I think they're gonna pull through. But ACC, I mean, just an incredible conference.
Could be the best conference in college lacrosse. 5 teams in the top 10 right now. I mean, who can beat that? Who can say they have 5 teams, all their conference teams in the top 10? Not many conferences can say that. ACC, top of the class for the NCAA.
Absolutely.
And you got the top 2 teams in the conference meeting this weekend. So let's look at the tail of the tape as Syracuse will take on one of these 2 teams. The weigh-in. The 2 fighters pack a stiff punch. I mean, North Carolina led by Joey Sankey, Notre Dame by Matt Kavanaugh, Joey Bresci and Kevin Corrigan leading the 2 sides. Syracuse lost to both these teams. Fighting Irish and Tar Heels lead the way defensively in the conference as ND has given up 31 goals, UNC just 35. Guys, they play this Saturday. Who would the Orange rather see themselves play in the ACC tournament in Chester, Pennsylvania.
Well, both teams obviously very talented. Syracuse has already lost to both of them this season. It's their only 2 losses on the season. And I think Syracuse would rather play Notre Dame, and it's the revenge factor. As I said, Syracuse did lose to both teams, but the Notre Dame game just felt a lot more impassioned. It was a closer game. It was a double OT game, and they lost by 1. Syracuse really played well in that game and still came up short, so I think they want to show the world that they can play well and take down the Fighting Irish, whereas I think UNC, they can chalk it up to some injuries and just didn't play very well, especially early on.
Seth, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think UNC is the last team that this Syracuse team wants to play. I think the matchup is overall better. UNC has a little better offense than Notre Dame, and the game against Notre Dame, as Seth was saying, a lot closer. They felt like they were in it for most of the game. They had to come back. They were down a couple goals early, but did end up coming back, and really Shane Doss and that defense, it's a better matchup for the Syracuse offense.
Syracuse offense, one of the top ones in college lacrosse. Either way, it's going to be a cracking matchup between those two sides. As we continue, UNC and ND isn't the only matchup that's happening this weekend. We take a look around the nation. You're watching Cuse Countdown, presented by Citrus TV.
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I think that Citrus TV is important because especially this year, Syracuse has been in the news so often, and we've often been there first to be able to cover that and really deliver it to the students.
Citrus TV News is for our campus and our students.
The great thing about Citrus is we allow students to tell their stories, and we get to listen to their concerns.
Citrus is important because we cover campus news in a way that no one else really does.
Citrus TV is the voice of Syracuse University, and it's something we're very proud of and a responsibility that we take very seriously.
Welcome back to CC. Here are the national rankings. Look at that. The ACC is taking the 2 top spots, followed by Maryland and Syracuse, with Denver rounding out the top 5. An impressive group, as these 2 squads have a lot of prowess with the ACC in the national rankings. To the standings that matter, the chase for the Countdown Cup. It's coming to an end, and some guys need a big week. Matt is riled up as he is 1 game behind Danny Cuneo in first place at 34-10. Our guys, Seth Quam and Michael Barth, well, they're equal, 32-12. They need 2 games to make up, to get it back. Can they do it? We find out as we go around the nation.
Around the Nation. I'm Seth Quam here with Michael Barth. You ready to do this?
As always.
All right, let's get started. So, first game, Maryland taking on Ohio State. I'm going to take the Terrapins in this one, and let me tell you why. Maryland has only lost 1 game all season, and that was to Yale back in February. We'll talk about Yale in a few minutes, but Ohio State just doesn't have the strength of schedule that gives me the confidence that they could pull out an upset. When they do play good teams like Notre Dame, they get slaughtered 9-0, so I think Maryland will come out with the victory.
I'm going to agree with you, Seth. You referenced the 9-0 shutout to Notre Dame. Well, Maryland's defense is even better, only giving up 66 goals on the season. That's the best in Division I. And so they play great defense, not so much on offense, but Matt Rambo, a young sophomore there, 26 goals on the year, leads their offense. They're going to be too much for Ohio State.
Fair enough.
Next up, we're going to have Virginia taking on Georgetown. I'm going to go with the Wahoos in this one. Virginia really hurt by the loss of James Pinnell. He tore his ACL about a month ago. But overall, just a better strength of schedule, a more seasoned team. ACC has really toughened them up. They haven't done as well as they wanted to in the ACC, but Georgetown's biggest wins over Marquette and Loyola Maryland. Not nowhere close to Virginia.
Looks like we're going to agree on the first two games. I'm going to take the Cavaliers as well. And as you mentioned, they haven't done so well in the ACC this year. They're 0-4, and because of that, they're not going to be in the ACC tournament. So they really have this final push now at the end of the season to try to get into the NCAA tournament. I think they're going to have to win their last two games in order to do that, and I think they're going to be extra focused and have that extra intensity and drive to take down the G-men, and I think they'll make that happen. Moving on, next game, Brown and Cornell. You might be a bit surprised on this one. I'm going to take Brown in this game, Michael Barth. That's right. And let me tell you why. Here we are in Syracuse, and SU is the only college in the country to have a fruit as a mascot. And I think Brown is the only university to have a color as the name of the school. I mean, what more evidence do you need?
Well, I'm going to give you more evidence here. I'm going to take Cornell in this one. Brown is 0-2 in its last two Ivy League games, losses to Yale and Penn. Yale pretty good, Penn not so much, middle of the pack in the Ivy League. Cornell is just too much for Brown. Could be 11-1 on the season if not for 2 1-goal losses. So Cornell very good, surprisingly very good team, but Brown not going to be able to keep up with them.
What can Brown do for you, Michael?
Not much.
They can win.
No.
It's a hunch. It's a gut call. Gut call.
All right, last game we have is Albany taking on Yale. I'm going to take Yale in this one, Seth. Yale on a 4-game winning streak, riding high. Also a top 10 defense in the nation. They're going to be able to shut down that high-powered attack of Lyle Thompson and a few others on that Albany team. But Yale really on a hot streak right now. Nothing's going to slow them down.
They definitely have a good defense, but I'm going to take Albany. Top 10 defense is pretty good, but the best offense in the nation, Michael. And Lyle Thompson just became the all-time leading point scorer in all of NCAA history. So top 10 defense versus one of the greatest players in college across history. I'm taking the Great Danes. All right, well, that'll do it. 2 disagreements, 2 agreements. Back to you, JP.
You guys need 2 games in that one to get to the top of the Countdown Cup, so we'll see how you do. Let's move on from the nation and let's keep it with SU. That and a look into the Countdown Crystal Ball when we return.
Talking Points is more than just a campus political show. We tackle big issues and have in-depth conversations.
Talking Points.
Talking Points.
We report the political news that our students not only need to know, but deserve to know.
Talking Points.
We do it at the local news level and we do it at the national news level. We're here. You need us. All the political news you need, only on
Talking Points. Talking Points.
Talking Points, only on Citrus TV.
YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram is a wealth of knowledge. I'll even add in Facebook. Educate yourself by watching all of our coverage of Cuse Sports. Just put Citrus TV Sports into your search bar. Seth Quam and Michael Barth here. And I emphasize Michael Barth because he looks like a stud lacrosse player. Randy Stotts.
The similarities are just unreal, really. I mean, look at that. I don't know which one's which. Are you in the left or the right?
I can't tell at all. I mean, you look at these two, they're exactly the same. So I'm going to play a game with you guys. It's called Barth or Stotts because these two look exactly the same. So we asked Randy Stotts and we asked Michael Barth, a couple questions, and we're going to see where they differ, where they're the same. So we asked them their favorite food. Barth or Stotts, whose favorite food is a Five Guys bacon cheeseburger?
I'm going to guess Randy Stotts.
Swing and a miss there, Seth.
That was you?
That was me. That was me.
All right, 0 for 1. Here we go.
Look at that. I mean, come on, Seth. You got to get a little bit better.
That can't tell them apart.
All right, so let's recover a little bit. Favorite movie. We asked them that. Whose favorite movie? Barth or Stotts? Remember that. Field of Dreams.
It's got to be Stotts.
Wrong again.
That's your favorite movie?
Seth Quam. Unbelievable.
If you build it, they will come. Continuing on. Favorite breakfast cereal? Reese's Puffs. Barth or Stotts, Seth?
Okay, well, just Barth the first 2 times. It's got to be Stotts.
Are you serious?
That's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Yes.
Come on, Frosted Mini Wheats? I thought Stotts for sure.
Unbelievable.
Give me some analysis.
My co-analyst. He doesn't know anything about me.
I'm 0 for 3. All right.
Why are Reese's Puffs your favorite cereal?
Why isn't it my favorite cereal? You kidding me? It's the best.
Give me one more.
You've got Frosted Flakes. You've got a ton of things to look forward to. But I've got another one. The last one for you. In the Battle of Crest and Colgate, this next person goes Crest.
It's like
Barth or
a
Stotts?
heated battle. I'm guessing Randy Stotts.
No!
Wrong.
No! 0 for 4!
It's almost as if the producers never even asked Randy Stotts the questions. This is outrageous.
I really don't think they did.
All 4 from Barth? I
don't-
mean, that just goes to show they're the same person.
That goes to show this
We're
show.
the same person.
I think we need to continue this analysis with a little more clairvoyance, a little mysticism coming at you from all sorts of places. And let's do it with the countdown crystal ball. You guys are going to break out a crystal ball, and you guys are going to look into it and give me the predictions.
I see it right there.
First question that I ask you guys. Who will win the Tewaaraton Award trophy? Seth, we'll start with you.
I am staring deep into the crystal ball right now.
I hope you're better at it than you were at Stotts or Barth.
Well, this one is clear. There are hardly any clouds at all. No fog. Lyle Thompson, I mean, he's the no-brainer choice for the Tewaaraton. Won it last year in addition to Miles Thompson. And, I mean, we've talked about him already in this show, but he now leads all-time career points in the NCAA history. He's just a monster out there. I don't see how he couldn't get the Tewaaraton trophy.
You know what? Finally, something Seth got right. I see the same thing as well. Lyle Thompson gets the repeat. He was co-Tewaaraton winner with his brother Miles last season. It's what he does on the field. He makes everybody around him better. He leads the college lacrosse in assists with 46, 78 points on the season. Connor Fields, Seth Oaks, 39 goals, 35 goals respectively. He makes everybody better, and that's what makes him the best player in college lacrosse.
When it comes to X's and O's, you guys agree. When it comes to other things, not so much. Let's continue with the lacrosse. And the ACC has shown it lacks power. They have 5 teams in the top 10. How many of those squads will remain in the top 10 at the end of the day, at the end of the regular season, Michael?
You know what? I'm looking into the crystal ball. I see 4 out of the 5 ACC teams. UVA slips out of the top 10. Unfortunately, 0-4 in ACC play. Not going to play in the ACC tournament. UVA just not good enough this year to contend with the top teams in the ACC, and overall will slip out of that top 10.
Well, Michael, I'm looking in the crystal ball right now, and it's kind of foggy, a lot more foggy than the last question. I see 4 black dots rolling around. Oh, there's a 5th. Virginia's going to stay in the top 10. I didn't say it. There was the crystal ball. I think agreeing with the crystal ball, I would understand why that's true, because their strength of schedule will put them ahead some of those other teams, and they're 0-4 in the ACC, but the ACC is an amazing conference. Virginia's going to keep it in.
I got a quick one for you. At the end of the day, who will be the number 1 team in college lacrosse?
I see it in the crystal ball. North Carolina, no question.
Notre Dame, only giving up 74 goals on the season, very good defensively, will be number 1.
Well, you've got 2 teams that the Cuse could face off against in PPL Park in the ACC tournament. So should be a cracking matchup in that one, as you've got 2 number 1 potential teams as we wrap up the countdown crystal ball. Well, for all of our coverage from PPL Park, make sure you check us out at Citrus TV Sports on YouTube. All of our beat reporters will be down there in Chester. For Seth Quam and Michael Barth, I'm JP Chunga. Until next time, bye for now.